Ja, Marlene Ortega in siya. Di dyan at what that di bish di at what be ish at sent do chili do na da ado ochi na nda his gejo at what ish. Hello, my name is Marlene Ortega. Wanted to share my recipe for New Mexico green chili pozole stew. These are the recipes I use. I use the hominy. Any kind of hominy works. Canned or frozen corn's good. I brown my meat in the olive oil. And I always use Hatch's green chili, but you can use whatever chilies you want. But this is my go-to, is my Hatch's green chili, because I'm a New Mexico gal, and I buy stuff from New Mexico. You can get this in the freezer section too. And then I've got the onions, 2 onions, and then I got the garlic, New Mexico red chili, and the chicken bouillon, and the Mexican oregano is what I like to use. And this is any kind of pork meat is good. The one I'm using today is the neck bone. You can use country style ribs, you can use pork roast. So I'm starting off with browning the meat, and I usually have to do my pot on, or the flame on high heat. The only reason why I like to start with high heat is because I can get a little brown on the meat. So I don't think it's quite ready yet. So once I start browning the meat, I'm doing this in batches because they're big pieces. And then once I get all the browning done, I'll throw all the meat back in. Throw the garlic and the onions on top and let that cook a little bit, and then I'll mix up the water with the bouillon in it, and then I'll pour that in, and then put the rest of the ingredients in. And then of course, don't let me forget the olive oil. I do at least 2 whole rounds of this, and that should be about 1 tablespoon. And it calls for 3 cloves, so I'll go ahead and stick to the 3 cloves, but if you love garlic and you want more, you can do more. Chop up the onions, don't chop it too fine. Leave it in kind of chunks. These are pretty much brown. I'm going to put in the garlic and one of the onions, and then I'll pull the meat back on top of there, and then we'll get started from there. So right now my helper is getting some hot water and 2 chicken bouillons in that hot water, because I find it's easier, it dissolves easier. Give that a little turn. I'm only following the ingredients that it's asking for, only because I'm showing you guys. Normally when I'm at home and cooking for my husband and myself, I start throwing other things in there. Other seasonings, more red pepper, less red pepper, depending on how much heat you like. 1 cup of water with 2 chicken bouillon. If you want to add more bouillon, you can do that once the broth starts boiling. And so that's 1 cup. I'm going to add 4 more cups, and if that's still not covering enough of the meat, then we'll start adding a little bit more. But you got to remember, you've got the corn, the hominy, and the green chili to add. Just a quick rinse is all you need. You don't need to stand here and rinse it for a while. And now you can use 2 cans of the 30 ounce of hominy, depending on how much how much hominy you like in your stew. I'm only putting in 1 can today. This is my own, remember that. Okay, and let's add some green chili to this too. Again, if you want to use frozen, that's fine. It does not have to be Hatch's green chili. I just prefer Hatch's green chili. You can do any kind of green chili that you want. You can use fresh green chili too. Just make sure you use 6 Anaheims and seed it and dice it up. So I used 4 cans of the 4-ounce Hatch's green chili. And this, I think it's calling for 1 tablespoon, but I usually just eyeball whatever I want to do. I usually like to crush them up before I put them in. I think that should be about 1 tablespoon right there. And you have your red chili. And again, I don't like a lot of heat, but I think people that are here like heat. This usually asks for 1 or 2 teaspoons. You can put in more if you want. I'm just going to try 1 teaspoon. Unless you guys want more. I just kind of have it just a little over. Once it starts boiling in 30 minutes, I'll add the corn. I take the meat out, shred it up, and throw the meat back in. So after it's been boiling for an hour, I'm going to take it out, let the meat come to cool enough for me to handle. I'm going to cut it up, and then I'll throw it back in and just give it a stir for another 10-15 minutes, and then it'll be done. So then I just start shredding this up. Should be able to shred it up. If not, then I'll use a knife to it. You can shred it up, you can chop it up. I just do coarse chopping. Okay, so my New Mexico green chili pozole stew, these are the ingredients that I use. It also gives measurements, but I don't always go by it. So you can play with it. Give it more heat, give it less heat, more green chili, less green chili, more hominies, less hominies. If you don't want corn in it, don't put corn in it. Any kind of pork meat works good. You can't ever do anything wrong with the kind of meat you're going to use. Again, make up your own, add to it, take away from it. You cook it the way you want to cook it, just like I do. I always add other stuff to it. And that's what I wanted to tell you, and I hope you enjoy.